Hello, welcome to Double Talk once again. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. It's good to be here. It's my second week back.
It's good to be anywhere.
And interestingly enough, what'd you do, wear that shirt all week?
Oh no, it's not the same shirt.
Oh, it's a different shirt. You have a lot that look like that.
I have several like this because, you know, wash and wear. And
Yeah. You did your wash this week. So
I don't have to make decisions. If every shirt's the same in the closet, you just grab a shirt.
I know people like that. Oh, me. But they're not all, yeah, because my shirts, as you can see, are all the same. The chest hair changes, however, daily.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it's always different.
Anyway.
I'm just here for, trimming, picture.
Yeah, well, you were on Cape Cod 2 weeks ago.
I was.
Have you recovered yet?
I would hope so. It takes a while, because you got to wait till those oysters get out of your system.
Now, you went all the way to Cape Cod. You probably didn't even eat cod, did you?
No, because I didn't wear a cape either, for that matter. So,
well, not in public.
Well, yeah, sometimes in public, but we won't talk, especially in Provincetown. Do you know anything about Provincetown? Provincetown is
only the
great.
pictures that you took.
Provincetown. Yes, well, maybe sometime we'll show them, but
I got a pretty good
Provincetown is fun. It's glorious. It's great stuff. You got a lot of guys walking around like in.
What kind of guys?
Guys, strong guys with big hairy chests and
Yes.
sometimes leather thongs and work boots, and that's about all.
I see.
We were there during Bear Week, and perhaps you're familiar with Bear Week. It depends on if you
No, nobody here is familiar with that.
Bear Week is when the big hairy guys who like to wear flannel shirts get together, because it's a type of person.
There's a lot of certain type of women that like to wear those too.
There's a female Bear Week. I've heard.
Is there?
Yes.
And do they bear it all?
Well, no. That's when the lacrosse teams from around the Ivy League colleges, the female lacrosse teams, get together. But it always makes for more excitement when you have a bunch of people all having fun together. It gives a uproarious sound, and Provincetown is just a wonderful
big party town,
art
right?
place. The pictures I have, a lot of them are just down the street. Throngs of people, very colorful, very artsy.
Throngs in thongs.
Throngs and thongs. There is one lady there who is called Miss Lipstick, and she is dressed like a tube of lipstick. She was there this year, and she was also there last year.
I see.
And perhaps years before, but maybe I never noticed.
Well,
who would notice somebody wearing a tall cap of lipstick on their head?
If you're ever in New England, stop into Provincetown.
Go there. It's fun. And any other place.
Now,
we'll get back to our show now.
We got news this week.
Speaking about enchanted Provincetown.
While you were out of town, Michael, we got news that Enchanted Gardens had closed. Enchanted Gardens, the nursery that Jackie Meineke ran for years. There on Avenida de Mesilla, just west of the railroad tracks. She finally closed down. It's time for her to retire, and so I'm assuming the property's for sale.
Yes, if you want to run a plant store, you better go pick that up. Jackie and I went to grad school together. We used to have to hit the Mac lab to finish our papers at the same time.
What did she get her master's in?
In English.
Not horticulture?
No, she's I think rhetoric maybe. So she writes nonfiction stuff.
A rhetorician?
And she does that column in the Sun News, which is about those green things that I think come from a part of the world I'm unfamiliar with called nature.
Out of soil?
Nature is like outside, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm never usually out there.
Well, you're a viticulturalist, so you should know.
I keep my plants out there, yes.
And so, thanks Jackie for all the advocating you did for plants and trees and shrubs and flowers.
And hopefully your blooming hands will get into something else that's equally growing.
Now with her gone, what you can do, if you go to Gonzales Nursery, which is out on Bataan Highway, Highway 70, on the north side of the road.
Are we advertising them?
If you go out to Gonzales Nursery and you mention
this show?
And you mentioned Channel 98, or you mentioned that you heard Lionel Richie on their website, you'll get 20% off.
Really?
20% off, pretty good.
I'm glad I watched this show.
He's got palm trees for sale out there. He's got plants. He's got
That's true. It's one of the few places you get palm trees.
He's got everything out there. So go out there. Mention you heard Lionel Richie on their website. You get 20% off.
I'm Lionel Richie, by the way.
That's worth the drive right there.
aside from the 20% off, I think that's the least expensive place to buy stuff in town.
Is it?
I think so.
Well,
that's why they're all the way out on,
sure.
Bataan Highway.
Where land is cheap. Yeah. So going out there and tell them you heard about it right here on Double Talk.
God bless the world.
And you'll probably take away that 20%. So,
plants are good. I don't know if you can get the type of grapes I've been growing, but maybe you can get some grapes.
You can't even get the kind of grapes you're growing.
Yeah,
they haven't
gotten grapes yet.
That's right.
It had grapes, and then when I planted it, they got grapeless.
Now,
people like seedless grapes. These are grapeless seeds.
Yeah, grapeless seeds.
Yes.
School started.
I wouldn't know. I don't take part of that indulgence anymore.
Well, you have to drive through school zones, don't you?
I don't think so. This show is like what day are we in? Like August 2nd now? Anything we say on the show, it's because we have no idea of what happened last week. But what are we, August?
Yeah, August 2nd.
Yeah, so school doesn't start until like the middle of August, I think.
Well, some schools have already started.
Maybe. The 11th?
Oh, this is August 2nd.
So here we are. We're trying to give kids a scare so they start thinking about school.
Well, some schools are year-round in this town already.
Right, so back to school is a moot point. But if you're going to go back to school, start getting your loose leaf folders together and pick out the book covers you want to put, or whatever your iPad says. That's it.
Yeah, so,
all you kids are on iPads now.
If the school zones are flashing, even if there's no kids for miles around to be seen, the school crossing guards are still out there needlessly, but you're going to have to go drive 15 miles an hour, otherwise you will get a ticket.
So how many times have you been picked up for speeding through school zones? Was that a thing you've never transgressed? Is that one of those things you've stayed in?
No, I never got picked up for it.
Oh.
To answer your question. So yeah, no, you have to go 15 miles an hour through a school zone, even though the school zone is not necessary, even if there's no school on and there's no children inside, you still have to abide by the rules because it's a moneymaker for Las Cruces.
I believe in doing it's a moneymaker because they stand there, cop cars are going to wait for you to go smashing through.
They'll wait for anybody to speed through.
I believe in a best practices principle. I think the best practices thing is if you're going to be speeding through a school zone, beep your horn throughout loudly. Just keep beeping. The kids don't get away. That's natural selection.
And when the cop pulls you over, say, "Well, officer, I was honking the whole time."
You go, "I was in a rush." You can't be in a rush.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Hey, where's the fire? What do you care?
Be aware.
You're a cop.
And
that's an old one.
So
school zone.
So speaking of school, Las Cruces High School is expanding in a big way. They're almost doubling the size of the school, it seems.
Oddly enough.
And they've advanced across the street for the high school, and they put a pedestrian bridge over El Paseo.
Kind of crazy. Some of the they built like a 2-story building across the street,
yes.
Right? Las Cruces High School is a 1-story building. Had they built a 2-story building on their side of the high school, or on their side of the road,
they may yet.
You don't need a bridge. Really, I never heard the logic of you don't have to go across the street because you build your school. Las Cruces High has plenty of land behind it.
No, that's the athletic fields.
So who cares about athletics? Nobody does athletics anymore.
They care more about athletics than they do academics.
Well, that's true, I guess. So
that's where the money is.
Why don't we just knock down the school and have a bunch of athletic fields, let kids run around all day, try to get onto professional football teams?
That's pretty much what they have now.
Oh, that's good.
So anyway, there's the bridge.
An amazing bridge.
Going up now. You're out of town when that happened. But they had to close down El Paseo. And
that's why I left town. I don't want to be here during that.
Yes. And so they're building a 2-story structure on the main campus area too.
Yeah. I'm looking at the picture.
How else can you access the bridge?
Right, they had to do it both ways. How do cars get up on that bridge?
Well,
if you want to get your car up on the bridge.
No, it's only for the monorail.
Oh,
goes across.
Monorail. Up the street, closer to, what is that, Bouts?
Yeah.
They're doing these weird dividers so that you can't cut between 2 lanes. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Just temporary?
No. They're going to be about this thick between the 2 oncoming rows of cars. And you're wondering, are they getting really antsy about keeping people from having accidents, or are they just trying to give themselves work?
It sounds like it's going to cause accidents.
It sounds like that, especially if you decide to take a turn, or say if you want to cut over and go to, what's that pizza place?
Pizza Hut?
No, the speedy one, the $5 pizza, Little Caesars Pizza. If you want to cut there, you can't go from, if you're driving down from the north.
You can't turn left into it?
You can't turn left because there's going to be a
Oh, that's lame.
there.
That's totally lame.
Yes, and that's what they're, and I guess, I don't know if it goes all the way up to Sonic, but you may have to do a turn somehow to get to Sonic. Unless,
I'm sure the businesses
are not happy.
But it's probably too late for them to complain now.
So, yeah, that's another barrier to commercial stuff.
If there's a way Los Cruces can screw things up, they will.
So the next topic you have down is the bridge going over Missouri.
The interstate bridge, Interstate 25, over the street of Missouri. It's going to be replaced soon, and that'll take about a year.
I see that.
In the real world, it doesn't take a year to do these things, but here, of course, it does.
Right, you could just do it. You get some alien spaceships to lift one bridge off, put the other one down. There you go.
Yeah.
It's real easy.
So,
I have a complaint about that soon.
Yes.
Because a place that I have that has a parking
you have a
lot,
business right there.
Yes, on one of the corners. They are going to tie up one of the entrances to the parking lot, so people won't be able to come around from one particular side. They'll have to do some sort of weird Congo to get in.
You're on the corner of Don Rosa in Missouri.
Yep. So that's going to be a weird little thing. Not only that, the business that's there will suffer.
I'm sure. Well, there's a laundromat there. What else?
Laundromat and the Metro PCS. It took place of Cricket.
Oh,
it used to be a Cricket phone.
It's a phone store.
So yeah, and
the comic book store's not there anymore, is it?
No, remember the comic book store?
Yeah, I remember it.
Those were good. So that whatever's going to happen with that bridge, that's not the bridge, because I know there is no there's no green stuff alongside the road.
What's green stuff?
Grass.
Oh. Vegetation? No, there's
no vegetation there. So it's not there. Anyway, so that's happening there. Takes a year to do that stuff. Hopefully they're going to be enabling traffic to get to businesses. Otherwise, they might owe the business some health.
That'd be nice. You might have to sue the city.
I might have to.
How do you think that'll go?
Take a long time, and you end up talking to a lot of people. It certainly precludes starting to.
Well, they've been replacing a lot of bridges. They're replacing the freeway bridge over Avenida de Mesilla.
That has taken forever.
Yes.
And you were complaining when it was in its heyday about not being able to get to Luna Rosa, right? Because you couldn't get to Luna Rosa for pizza.
It was difficult. Let's put it that way.
Meanwhile, I've since been there.
Because they were not only replacing the bridge, but they were redoing the advance to it.
They did everything. They also did new surfaces. One would hope they put new infrastructure under the bridges, like, cell phone, cell phone cables.
A place for the homeless to live.
That's true. And for the people coming up from Costa Rica and Nicaragua, that would be good.
Sure.
To have that. And, so you didn't like that.
But now you can get to Luna Rosas, no problem.
Still, it's a little crazy. There's a lot of orange barrels around there. Getting to M5, one of our favorite places, 5. It's going to be M7 pretty soon. Gee, you know that they're building up on Highway 70.
Well, they're going to be building the game and M5.
The game M5.
But they're going to close down the M5 that's there.
Unfortunately. I don't know if I'll go to the new one.
The new one's kind of far away. But
it is.
Actually, it's probably equidistance from where I live.
It's probably not bad. It's probably not bad. So it depends on what they do. They won't have me complaining about the fact that they don't know how to make the Negroni.
Well, you trained them on how to make
I trained them and I forced them to get Campari. So now that we have our Campari at M5, ask them for Negronis and other drinks that Campari goes into. It goes into an Americano. We're going to take a break now.
Let's take a break now and we'll come back.
Do you think?
After these words.
Okay, we will.
I swear.
If you're living with diabetes and have Medicare or private insurance, here is some great news. Call United States Medical Supply today, and we'll send you the smallest glucose meter in the world, absolutely free.
It only takes a speck of blood, and it gives me my results in 5 seconds.
And there's no coding for easier, more accurate results.
Don't let diabetes get in the way of living. Give us a call today at United States Medical Supply and get the smallest meter in the world for free.
Get ready, America! The Affordable Health Care Act is here, and it's got everyone asking, how do I find affordable health insurance that's right for me? The answer is simpler than you think. Pick up the phone and call I Can Benefit right now. Waiting for your team of licensed insurance agents who understand health care reform and can help you find the right plan to take care of you and your family's health. Don't wait. Call now and get the answers you deserve and a price you'll love.
Call toll-free 1-800-426-2163.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burke, and I have a confession to make. I have a serious crush on my workout. Hip, fun, and always a challenge. Jazzercise is the total package. It's the only workout that I've ever truly loved. Does it show? That's because I'm in the best shape of my life. What a difference Jazzercise makes. When's the last time your workout swept you off your feet? Find a class near you at jazzercise.com.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers' high rate and high pay are everywhere.
They're making another minimum payment. Great. Most of the money goes to us.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your neck.
And lower his rates. And consolidate his bills into one low payment. Consolidated Credit drives us batty.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
'Cause debt sucks.
Call now.
Call Consolidated Credit at 1-800-530-4571. Call now.
And we're back. This is Double Talk.
We are.
Steffen.
Can I do my, what was that, the ad on diabetes?
Uh-huh.
So I was at Walgreens this week, and as you're checking out, there's a bunch of chocolate bars on the side, and the guy says, do you want to buy some chocolate bars? It's for a good cause, or whatever. I said, no thanks. And then I check out, and you're doing your money, you know, you pay on the little thing, because I always use credit cards. You pay at the pump. And it says, he says, do you want to give anything for diabetes? I said, well, I think I just did help. By not taking the chocolate.
By not taking the sugar-laden
I said,
chocolates.
don't you feel the irony every time you have to ask people if they want to buy chocolate, and then you ask them to sign up for a diabetes donation? And I said, try not to think of yourself as evil each time you do that.
Yes, well.
Chocolate and diabetes.
Now, you were on. You went back east a couple of weeks ago.
I remember that.
You flew in an airplane.
I did.
How was the flight?
Well, you know, once you get up there, it's okay. Yeah, if they don't shoot you down, you're good. Getting up there, the first time we were delayed 3 hours.
3 hours where?
We were
El Paso?
delayed 3 hours. No, in Austin. We were delayed only an hour in El Paso, and we had a half-hour connection to make in Austin.
So you missed that.
No, we didn't, because that flight seemed to be delayed 3 hours until it got into Austin.
Who connects in Austin?
Southwest. Not only did we, we're going to, everybody who watches your show has to know what a map looks like. We go from El Paso to Austin, from Austin to Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and then we fly up the eastern seaboard. Coming back, we go from Providence down to Orlando, very close to Fort Lauderdale. Then we go to Houston, which isn't bad because that's a straight line. But we do 2 straight lines up and down rather than fly the hypotenuse.
On purpose, you did these.
No, we don't. That's how they zone you. It doesn't make sense. So, right now, I know you want to talk about, the Malaysian Air things, and I'm thinking you always have these weird ideas, conspiracy ideas. My idea is airlines are doing these things. First, you have a plane that dissolves into midair. Nobody knows where it is except for you. And then you have the Ukrainian plane, the Ukrainian people shooting down. And I think it makes people thankful that a 3-hour delay is the least of their problems. So they put it in perspective.
That's one way to look at it.
You put it in perspective. I only waited 3 hours and we stayed in the air all the time until we wanted to come down.
Yes.
I think that's good.
I took a trip to Cape Cod and all I got was a 3-hour delay.
That's good, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Did you make it? No.
Well, poor Malaysian Airlines, you got to feel sorry for them. 2 planes go down.
Of course we do.
Within 6 months.
So I've heard people on the TV talking about how Malaysian Airlines was doing. Pretty much they were losing about $1.5 million a month anyway, maybe a day,
Oh,
maybe
no.
a week. They were losing $1.5 million. They were very poorly controlled.
Poorly managed anyway.
Because it's run by the state and not a
Yes.
public system.
Right.
And they give all the jobs to relatives.
And when the Russians, who apparently shot down the Malaysian Airlines.
Russian-backed rebels.
Yes.
Russian-backed rebels.
And well, the Russians may well have been involved with it too, because they had to train them and supply them with the equipment.
Oh, that's true.
And may have even pushed the button. When they shot that plane down, it happened to be on the 17th anniversary of the downing of Flight 800 off of
Libya?
Off of
Aberdeen? Is it, which one was that? Aberdeen? Libya? Oh, off of
Flight
Long Island.
800 off of Long Island.
That was 17 years ago?
Yeah.
Seems just like yesterday.
It was a flight from New York to France, to Paris. And that was allegedly shot down.
You call it the downing and the shooting
by
of it,
the
but
Navy.
it isn't known as that.
The Navy shot that one down. That was seen by witnesses. Of course, it was covered up very quickly.
It probably wasn't the Navy, it was the Coast Guard, because they're not very adept
They don't have
at
missiles
things.
like that. And in fact, I remember ABC News correspondent Pierre Salinger was the only one out there, the only journalist who was putting forth that that the chances are that it might have been shot down by the Navy. And the next thing you knew, Pierre Salinger was off the air, and we haven't heard from him since.
And also, as a flight to France, Pierre Salinger, you know, the name Salinger, it's a little French.
Well, Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre Salinger. He's a French guy. So he was the only one who was advocating that.
Right, and I had great respect for Pierre Salinger, and I wish I knew what happened to him.
He was killed in a plane crash.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Who knows? That could be.
Now, there was news in the paper recently that a local doctor got in trouble.
You know, you speak about how Russia is responsible for the Ukrainian rebels.
Yes.
In a way they are, because they trained them, they encouraged them, but they didn't actually do it. It's sort of like what, you know, what is this doctor was she arrested for? She was arrested
for not reporting child abuse.
So sort of, she didn't cause the child abuse, but the child abuse was caused because of her absence of action.
Well, the child abuse happened anyway. Apparently, she apparently knew about it and didn't alert the authorities.
So does that mean somebody's 5'4"? Are those little hash marks
5'2".
every 2 inches? No, that's too little for 2. Gosh, is that 5'2" or 5'4"?
Gosh, I don't know.
Well, we wouldn't be very good for witnessing people. Well, the woman was here, and she was either 5'4" or 5'2". I'm not sure.
You know, if you ever go to like a Pickwick or
I
a
do that all
convenience
the time.
store, you notice by the door there are gradations showing the height of.
That's true.
So that when somebody robs a place and they run out the door, the clerk can look and see exactly how tall that person was when they ran out the door. They can tell the police, well, he was 6'2".
Really? Because I always thought that was so I could put my daughter's height there. Every time we go into Pickwick, I'd write down the date. We could go to that particular Pickwick and see how my daughter was growing.
As she's growing. So if you're a crook out there and you want to rob Pickwick, when you run out the door, just duck down, and they'll think you're 5'1".
Or walk with your feet really.
And the cops will never catch
really
you.
Squishy. You bring evidence to court, and you just say, the glove didn't fit, and neither did the pants.
You must have quit.
Yes.
Right. You know, I was watching a fascinating show.
She's a doctor who a lot of people love. People love her. She's really
good.
Fine. She is.
Doctor.
She's got a lot of friends we know who use her, and hopefully, justice will be done, and a fine woman will be acquitted.
All she needs is a good lawyer, and she'll get off.
Although, that's hearsay. It shouldn't be on TV shows, because then here we are tainting the jury. I don't want to taint the jury. So whatever I said, don't listen to me.
Well, Michael, if
you haven't yet so far.
You could get out of it.
Good.
You could get out of it because they already talked about her.
I have found out the answer to get out of jury duty. You make your opinion up right away.
Yeah,
they tell you a little bit. You go, that guy looks like he had to do something. If he didn't do this, he must be guilty of something. And of course, the defense will get.
Well, you're not supposed to talk about the judge that way.
That also helps. You tell him, well, I can't be on this thing because this panel because I was drinking with the judge the other day.
Well, when you go on jury duty, they say, is there anybody here who is related to law enforcement personnel? All you have to do is raise your hand, and you're excused.
They don't ask you who?
They don't. They don't.
How many times have you tried that?
Well, I've never been called to jury duty in Las Cruces.
How long have you lived here? I mean, in a row.
In this
recently.
Time? About 20 years.
20 years. So
I've never been. Actually, when I moved here, I got a summons to. I moved here from California, and I got a notice to appear for jury duty in Los Angeles after I'd already moved here. And I sent back a notice. I said I would love to appear, but I'm afraid that if I don't show up because I don't live there, I don't want to be treated like a king, Rodney King.
You said that.
Because my mail got forwarded from LA to my Las Cruces address.
I think when you moved here, that was even before Rodney King, probably.
No, I moved here because of Rodney King, actually. I moved here after the riots.
Really?
Yes.
You hated getting beat up all the time?
There's something about a riot that kind of makes you, give you second thoughts about where you're living.
Yeah. You have riots anywhere.
When the neighborhoods are in flames.
You have one. It's like lightning. You have one riot. What's the chance of LA ever having more than one riot?
Yeah. What are the
odds?
When
would that happen? It would never happen.
No, 1 block from my house, the windows were smashed in businesses. 1 block away. A short block, too.
A short
block away.
Well, I think the short block, you could have moved a block away, then it would have been 2 blocks away. That'd be good. Yeah. Oh, I guess we got to keep, what are we talking about? You're talking about the incident that it was the 17th anniversary. So, what would the connection be? That the U.S. Navy shot down the Malaysian Airlines?
No, they didn't shoot it down.
It's just a good day for shooting down planes?
The Navy shot down Flight 800 out of New York.
Right.
17
years exactly to the date.
So anyway, we
know that. Why do you know that? Why do you even know what day it was shot down?
It was because I paid
17 years ago. What else were you doing 17 years ago? You have no idea. Now, that thing Anyway, yes, let's keep moving.
I saw a fascinating show on TV the other day about structures on the moon.
Because you could believe everything on the
structures
TV.
They showed the photographs of the structures on the moon that NASA has been covering up all these years, taken by the astronauts back in the 60s. And it's very compelling evidence.
You mean
people
pictures of
can say, oh, yeah, right. But the photographs don't lie.
Is that a pic? What is that a picture of?
And in fact, the astronauts talked about them.
And what kind of structures were there?
Well, like this, a huge satellite dish type of structure. It's over a mile wide.
And so you think maybe that has something to do, what you haven't talked about. Did you talk about this 2 weeks ago on TV about the mysterious hole in Siberia? Remember that? Did you read that one?
No, I didn't.
A mysterious hole. They say it's not meteor. They don't know what it is. It could be coming from the bottom of the earth to emit farts or something.
Oh,
no, there's a hole. That kind of
I don't believe those kind of conspiracies, Michael.
Who's tickling all that? What are you doing?
No, that's a flying object.
Yeah, it's a flying object. I think it's somebody playing with that little hole. You shouldn't do that. That's obscene on TV.
We're going to talk about the admission standards at NMSU.
Wait, how did you get off this structures on the moon? Why don't you tell your theory? What's your theory?
Well,
that Lee Harvey Oswald is hiding up there.
No, I believe there are ancient structures on the moon. And but we're out of time, and we can't talk about them.
Really? Where'd that go?
And we can't talk about anything else on the show, so we've got to run.
Go see Into the Woods.
And Into the Woods is also on this weekend at Black Box Theater. That's all the time we have, unfortunately.
And we'll see you next week and finish up whatever we didn't do this week. Next week. Whatever this week is.